And the big political story developing this hour on Breaking Ground, the Trinamool Congress has suffered its first major setback in Parliament as senior Rajya Sabha MP Sukhendu Shekhar Ray has resigned from the upper house of Parliament. The development comes amid a deepening rebellion within the party following the revolt by a large section of TMC MLAs in the state of West Bengal. Ray had recently warned that the unrest in the assembly could spill over into Parliament, and now you see him to be the first TMC MP post the big poll debacle for the TMC who has put in his papers. He has resigned. He was on his way to Parliament to submit his resignation. This comes on a day when Mamata Banerjee is in the national capital. In a couple of minutes from now, she will be attending the India bloc meeting. And while she is here in Delhi, a TMC MP has put in his papers. The BJP, of course, taking the opportunity to mock the TMC at this point, saying it's already disintegrated. They're saying picture abhi baki hai. This is just the beginning. See how many more MPs resign is what the BJP just told NDTV on the phone line when we broke that story. But the big breaking news for now is that the first TMC MP, Sukhendu, has now resigned from Parliament. We're going to get our reporters live on the story. Also remember, this comes at a time when Jahangir Khan has also been arrested by the Bengal Special Task Force, a candidate from the Falta constituency. Jahangir Khan had pulled out of the contest just days before re-election. He has now been arrested. He's seen as the right-hand man to Abhishek Banerjee. Abhishek Banerjee also in the national capital along with Mamata Banerjee. So several setbacks, not only in the state of West Bengal for the lady on your screen, but also in the national capital at a time when the India bloc wants to come together to signify and also to project a show of strength, but too much of internal rift within her party at this point for Mamata Banerjee to stand tall and even claim that she has a majority of her leaders behind her. It's a disintegrating Trinamool Congress at this point. Shreshi Dey is joining me live. Shreshi, Mamata Banerjee in Delhi at a time when the first parliamentary jolt has hit the Trinamool Congress.
Well, that's right. And you know, the symbolic damage is far more than the numerical damage within the parliament, with Sukhendu Shekhar Ray stepping down as a Rajya Sabha MP from the Trinamool Congress. And, you know, we had seen this coming. He too had hinted at several media interviews that he is likely to tender his resignation. And that has happened at a time when Mamata Banerjee herself is in New Delhi for that crucial opposition meeting of the India Bloc Alliance in the Constitution Club today. Now, of course, Sukhendu Shekhar Ray has been a veteran Trinamool Congress leader. He's been in the parliament since 2011, one of the strongest voices within the parliament. And him stepping down, of course, raises certain questions on whether this internal revolt has now spread to the parliament as well. As we have been reporting, over 60 MLAs here in the Vidhan Sabha of the winning 80 have already backed, expelled Trinamool Congress MLA Ritobroto Banerjee as the leader of the opposition. And we have seen how the election results here in West Bengal has triggered a storm within the Trinamool Congress, and one after the other MLAs and MPs have been speaking out. Now here in West Bengal, Vedika, what has happened after the election results are, one, of course, the Trinamool Congress leadership speaking out against the organizational decay within the party, how the leadership has lost touch with the people, have been missing on ground as well. And also we have been seeing the kind of public outrage against the Trinamool Congress leaderships, be it councillors, be it grassroots level workers, or be it MLAs and MPs here in the state of West Bengal. Also unprecedented police action against those involved in extortion, molestation, or any kind of police complaints that have been filed against the councillors, leaders of the Trinamool Congress are all being arrested. So there has been a political change in the climate here in West Bengal, as well as the internal rift within the Trinamool Congress that has now completely been out in the open. And this is, of course, going to raise serious questions on the unity within the Trinamool Congress at a time when Mamata Banerjee is projecting herself as one of the most strongest opposition leaders, despite these storms that she has been facing from her own party members. In fact, yesterday she was supposed to be chairing a meeting of the councillors here before heading to New Delhi, but that too had to be called off because she wanted to keep the political optics strong before that New Delhi meeting. But of course, the resignation from her old guard, Shukhendu Shekhar Roy, raising questions on whether this is going to have a larger impact on the parliamentary unity of the Trinamool Congress.
Shreyashi, you're going to stay with me for a moment here because I have Mr. Bhandari from the BJP joining me on the phone line. Mr. Bhandari, the TMC disintegrating further, the first jolt to Mamata Banerjee when it comes to Parliament. Is the BJP in talks with the MP who has quit, Mr. Ray in this case?
Well, Vedika, at this moment, the only thing which the people of Bengal are seeing is how the Trinamool Congress is imploding from inside. And this is happening because wherever the TMC MPs or MLAs who continue to be with Mamata are going on the ground in Bengal, they are realizing that the people of Bengal detest the Trinamool Congress. So for their own political future, they are distancing themselves from Abhishek Banerjee and Mamata Banerjee. And this is what you are seeing unraveling, whether it is in Delhi or in Bengal.
But when we talk about these MPs, are you expecting more resignations to come through when it comes to Parliament, when it comes to the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha representation by the TMC?
Well, we are witnessing this as a mute spectator who will witness the opposition rank crumbling and the Indian opposition, in particular the Trinamool Congress, disintegrating, and let us see how it processes further.
I like the way you say mute spectator there, Mr. Bhandari, because I want to understand if the BJP is in talks with any of these MPs, but of course at this moment you're not going to tell us more on that. Thank you for joining me on the phone line. I'm going to go back to Shreyashi, who's joining us live. Shreyashi, Mr. Shukhendu Shekhar Ray is one man who had also mentioned recently and warned that the unrest in the assembly could spill into Parliament, and that's exactly what we're seeing with him being the first wicket down when it comes to TMC MP's numbers in the House.
Absolutely, that reinforces, his statement as well, because he had warned that this mutiny within the Vidhan Sabha could also hit the Parliament. We are given to understand there is one more Trinamool Congress MP who is likely to step down, who had recently been nominated to the Rajya Sabha, but we'll wait for a confirmation before breaking that news. However, this entire political optics that is playing out here in West Bengal as well as now in New Delhi is not too good for the Trinamool Congress, because Mamata Banerjee is Trinamool Congress and she is still the last word within the party. But at a time when she's in the national capital, a veteran politician, an old guard, Shukhendu Shekhar Roy, stepping down is not going to be taken quite lightly and is going to be looked very closely by political observers as well. Whether or not there would be more MPs to follow, only time will tell. But of course, Shukhendu Shekhar Roy had earlier also raised his voice against the RG Kaur rape and murder incident and had hit the streets in protest against the Mamata Banerjee government back then in the days. And he had distanced himself from the Trinamool Congress. But ahead of the elections, we had seen him return to the party folds, joining the party supremo in various political programs. But now this entire revolt that has hit the Trinamool Congress, where leaders are saying that the leadership of the party has lost touch with the cadres, has lost touch with the people on ground, which has led to this massive downfall within the party as well. Of course, the party has been in power for 15 years here in West Bengal, and these victories has somehow, kept that fracture within the party under wraps. But with the election results coming out in favor of the BJP, the Trinamool Congress is facing one storm after the other.
Yes.
And today, when Mamata Banerjee will be, seen sitting and sharing that table with the opposition leaders back here in, her party, we are going to see another break-off, and probably this could lead to worry for her within the Parliament as well. But of course, that's time to, only time will tell whether this is going to have any impact on the Trinamool Congress.
And this would be a good moment even to talk about those discrete meetings that are taking place, Shreyashi. Be it in Bengal, be it in the national capital. We're also hearing of many of these leaders being incommunicado, some switching off their phones. What's the inside track you can bring to us at a time when Mamata Banerjee is in Delhi putting up a brave front?
Well, the MPs and MLAs are keeping a tight lip. We are, of course, yesterday I spoke to a few from the Rajya Sabha to ask whether, they are going to be stepping down or not. But on the face of it, they are denying it. Everyone is keeping a close watch. They are playing the cards very close to their chest. They do not want to reveal their next move just before doing, what they have to do. We saw how that unfolded in the Vidhan Sabha here. Just within 24 hours after the first session of the Vidhan Sabha, we saw the party crumbling inside the assembly. The legislative party has now chosen an expelled MLA of the Trinamool Congress as their leader of the house, as the opposition leader, Mamata Banerjee. When we speak to leaders close to Mamata Banerjee, they say that her spirits are high, and of course she is eyeing the larger political game for 2029. But in reality, her house is not in order here in West Bengal either. And whoever's trying to step down from their post, be it the mayor of Kolkata, Firad Hakim, who tendered his resignation just last week, or other such councillors and MLAs, she has given them a free hand to step down. Even her close aide, Krishna Chakraborty, the mayor of the Bidhannagar municipal body, has also stepped down, and she has not really gone against their will and has given them the free hand to step down. And this mutiny that has hit the Trinamool Congress has forced them to realign and rethink about what the party's strategy is going to be, who they are going to keep close to them, and who they will keep a distance from.
Shresha, you talk about realignment as well here, but the question is, how is the TMC chief looking to realign? Is it now the focus being more on Delhi than West Bengal for the moment?
Well, not really, Vedika. Just last week, we saw the party dissolve all the organizational fronts here in the state of West Bengal, right from bottom up, and thereafter, announce fresh committees. Interestingly, the National General Secretary, Abhishek Banerjee, now has two other persons sharing that post as well as the responsibilities. One is Derek O'Brien, who is the leader of the leader of the Trinamool Congress on the floor of the Rajya Sabha, as well as Dola Sen, a very close aide of Mamata Banerjee, seen by her side as a shadow through and through. So the party is realigning within to ensure that, responsibilities are not just in one person's hand, because several leaders have spoken out against the way IPAC was handling the party previously, how Abhishek Banerjee was not reachable, how the leadership had ignored all the qualms that were raised by the party leadership here in the state of West Bengal. But for now, of course, Mamata Banerjee, while being in New Delhi, cannot blink and miss out on what's happening here in West Bengal, because the mutiny is very real and still has a very large implication on the party's future political roadmap in New Delhi as well.
And Shrishi, we're being told that Mamata Banerjee as well as Abhishek Banerjee have reached the venue for the India Bloc meeting, which is the Constitution Club. There could be allies who ask some tough questions of the Trinamool Congress chief today, given the poll debacle that she witnessed, seeing the disintegration of her party when it comes to MLAs who have walked out and walked away, albeit even the first MP who has just put in his papers from the Trinamool Congress from the Rajya Sabha representing Mamata's party.
Well, Mamata Banerjee is a seasoned politician. She's got very high political acumen, and she has been putting up a brave face. When we saw the attack on National General Secretary Abhishek Banerjee at Shonarpur, when he had gone for a political program, almost 27 days after the election results, he was egged. There were stones hurled at him. There was brick batting. But after that, we saw the kind of opposition messages that kept pouring in, including Rahul Gandhi sending get well soon messages to the National General Secretary Abhishek Banerjee. Yesterday, they held a meeting with Arvind Kejriwal at Abhishek's New Delhi residence. So Mamata Banerjee really putting up a strong face. But of course, one can't look away from the fact that this is the first time she will be sitting at the table of that opposition alliance, where she is no longer par in West Bengal, but given to understand her political trajectory, she is not going to lay down lying low on this entire, political political front that is opening up against her, but she will be taking it head on. While she's putting up a brave face there in New Delhi, of course, here in West Bengal, the legislative party has gone out of her control. There are several leaders who have been arrested in the past 48 hours as well. People from the Trinamool Congress are facing huge public outrage on ground. Wherever they are going, they are being paraded with their head shaved, with eggs being thrown at them. And some of her close aides and ministers have also been arrested in the recent past. So, of course, the party is right now grappling with not just an internal mutiny, but with also external factors that are impacting the decisions that these leaders are making in the longer run. We have spoken to several of the MLAs who decided to join hands with the rebel camp, and they say that the situation is such that they are unable to go to their constituencies because of the public outrage. The leadership has been missing on ground. Mamata Banerjee has held only one public rally since that poll results here in West Bengal. The only time Abhishek Banerjee stepped out, he was attacked in the South 24 Parganas district, which interestingly is his constituency, also falls under that particular district. So the kind of public outrage is also something that the Trinamool Congress leaders are grappling externally, while this internal mutiny is only escalating within the party.
All right. Thanks for staying with me, Shashi, on that big story emerging from the national capital at a time when, of course, the disintegration of the party has been witnessed in the state of West Bengal. The first Trinamool Congress MP has put in his papers. He's an MP from the Rajya Sabha representing the Trinamool Congress. There is some news coming in. Trinamool Congress MP has made a big comment ahead of the India Alliance meeting. Saugata Roy has said, I got an offer from the BJP to join the party. I rejected it. He is a TMC MP, and on the India Alliance meeting, he has said TMC is being targeted and attacked a lot. If other parties support the Trinamool Congress, it will provide power to the TMC. When there was an attack on Abhishek Banerjee, we had Mallikarjun Kharge as well as Rahul Gandhi from the Congress condemning it. And he then went on to reiterate that he got an offer from the BJP party, which he rejected. I will stay in the party on whose symbol I won the election, is what he has said. Listen in.
एक एडवांटेज होगा ही, शक्ति बढ़ेगा। तृणमूल कांग्रेस पर बहुत ज़्यादा हमला हो रहा है, आक्रमण हो रहा है, तो दूसरे लोग साथ रहेंगे तो तृणमूल का शक्ति मिलेगा। जैसे अभिषेक बनर्जी पर जब व्यक्तिगत हमला हुआ तब मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे, राहुल गांधी कांग्रेस की ओर से उसको निंदा किया। यही मॉरल समर्थन, नैतिक समर्थन मिलता है। हाँ, दिया। क्या कहा? आने को बोला। आपकी तरफ से क्या प्रतिक्रिया? नहीं जाएंगे।
And Tejshri is joining me live from Constitution Club, where the meeting is just about to begin of the India bloc. Tejshri, a big claim there being made by the TMC MP, but of course the first claim or the first statement we could anticipate from the BJP would be, where's the evidence, Mr. Roy, when it comes to this big claim that you've made that the BJP was in talks with him?
Well, absolutely a big claim made by TMC MP Saugata Roy, who in fact goes on to say that BJP has been approaching him to join the party, but he has rejected all the offer that is being made by the BJP to him. Now, in fact, remember that why these statements are important, because they are coming at a point of time when there are a lot of speculations being made, when in fact there are MPs and MLAs within the TMC who in fact are coming forward and saying that they are completely unhappy by the manner in which now the party is functioning after elections, and they are actually not understanding that why the party has lost the elections. Now remember that yesterday also TMC MP Kirti Azad also stated that he will be staying with TMC no matter what, and he is not like what the other MPs are doing. He is not like them. He is not a traitor, is what he called as. So now remember that on all those MPs who in fact want to stay with the TMC are stating that they will be with the TMC, but there are MPs, in fact we just saw an MP resigning from his post, and it is expected that in the coming days, it will be tough for Mamata Banerjee, or it will be challenging as well for her to keep all the MPs and MLA together, given the current situation. On one hand, there is in rift within the TMC in West Bengal, and on the other hand here, in fact, we saw pictures of Mamata Banerjee, who in fact met several leaders of India bloc yesterday, and in fact is trying to give a message that no matter what, the India bloc is all together and they have to fight with the ruling government, say it be in the national capital or say it be in West Bengal. And today also, while in fact Mamata Banerjee came here to attend the meeting, we did try to ask Kalyan Banerjee and Mamata Banerjee the question about INRIFT. None of them answered the question, but we'll have to see that how Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee will now be keeping the party together. How in fact will they be convincing the MLAs, MPs, or will they be convincing them or not, needs to be seen, and what actually happens in the meeting as well here of India bloc.
Tejshri, just stay with me for a moment. We have that update for our viewers. The India bloc meeting has begun at the Constitution Club in the national capital. Tejshri is reporting live from there. Tejshri, just take us through the leaders that we also see on our screen, but the different parties and the representations from the parties at this meeting.
Well, absolutely. Now the India bloc meeting has begun, as we have rightly pointed out. And let me also tell you that Sonia Gandhi from Congress party, so there are several leaders who in fact are a part of this meeting, say it be Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, KC Venugopal, Pawan Khera, Nasir Hussain. These all in fact were the members. We did speak to some of them in fact who stated that, did state that yes, there are many parties, many leaders who in fact are not attending this meeting, but they in fact stated that they are focusing on all those parties who have come to attend this meeting, and the agenda of the meeting is to uphold the democratic values, is what the Congress party has been talking about. They will also be talking about the SIR, the delimitation process, and the most important thing, in all likelihood, they will be discussing about the alleged paper leak as well, the alleged NEET exam paper leak that took place a few weeks back. So all these agendas will be a part of the discussion. But again, there are parties who are not attending the meeting. We saw in fact DMK stating today that there will be many parties who will be quitting the India bloc. And not just that, but in fact there have been statements being made by Aam Aadmi party itself, Aam Aadmi stating that they will also not be the part of the meeting. And in fact today what we are given to understand that no one from, as of now physically, from Shiv Sena, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray is present over here in the meeting. However, Supriya Sule is in all likelihood is representing NCP Sharad Pawar's party over here. Now all these in fact parties, the party leaders, the regional party leaders specifically, will also be highlighting the issues of their very own state, so as to what is happening there in their own state. But as of now, in fact, keeping in mind, since the leader stated that the Congress party has called in for the meeting, so no clear agenda has been given to them so as to what are the topics of discussion as far as this entire meeting is concerned. These are the leaders, in fact, whom we spoke to from left, who stated that they have not been given a clear agenda. One thing is very much clear, that their leader as of now of India bloc is Mallikarjun Kharge, is what the left leaders have been talking about. And also there will be discussions held upon how Congress party, in fact, slammed these regional parties at a point of time when elections were taking place in the state of West Bengal and in the state of Kerala as well. Also, in fact, important to notice that the letter that was written by left leader M.A. Baby, who in fact also wrote a letter to Mallikarjun Kharge, talking, he in fact stated in the letter that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi made in fact actually very absurd statement in the elections, and these statements are highly condemnable. He should have not have made. But actually what happens on the table when all these leaders who in fact made several statements, Mamata Banerjee or other leaders as well, needs to be seen that how do they in fact participate in the meeting, and what all are the main agendas.
Tejshri, stay with me because our colleague Himanshu is also joining us live from outside the Constitution Club. Himanshu, what's important to note here are the party leaders who are not there in the meeting, but equally important are those who are attending the meeting, some of which also in terms of the India bloc have slammed the Congress over this meeting itself. The big test that we're waiting to, to see the outcome of is whether this will end up being a show of strength today when it comes to the India bloc meeting.
That's right, Vedika, and that is the big agenda of this India Bloc meeting. I have spoken to two prominent India Bloc leaders, and both of them on camera.
There seems to be a connectivity issue there with Himanshu. We'll try and reconnect with him. But Tejri, if you could just answer the question that I had put to Himanshu there, a big test for the unity that they want to project at this point. This meeting is going to be a big test.
Well, yes, absolutely. This meeting is going to be very, very important because this meeting, you see, India Bloc leaders, the allies are meeting after quite a long time. And in fact, as we were discussing also some time back, that how several leaders are participating in this meeting, but they also have their own agendas to be discussed in this meeting. Whole and soul, what will be the agenda? They were not clear, but yes, they all have their own issues to be discussed. But as so if we in fact talk about the parties, the prominent parties and the leaders, in fact, whom we also in fact saw the leaders attending the meeting, like Mehbooba Mufti was there. But as if now, in fact, we did speak to KC Venugopal as well, and also we did asking about the posters that were installed, who in fact stated that these posters are nothing but just a political gimmick. But these were, remember, the actual statements that were made by the leaders who are the part of the meeting and are in fact sharing the table with Rahul Gandhi and other leaders as well.
Right, Himanshu still with us. I hope the line's clear now, Himanshu, with you. What's also interesting is at that table today, you have the Congress that has just come back from a fresh win in the state of Kerala. You also have Mamata Banerjee, who's at that table after a huge poll debacle. So at this time, obviously high stakes, and you have reservations expressed by different political parties in that meeting room. All eyes will be on what the agenda is going to be for today's meeting and what consensus comes of it.
That's right, Vedika. It's an important point you made. I have spoken to two prominent leaders of the India Bloc parties, and both the leaders, Rajiv Rai and NK Premachandran of the RSP, have told NDTV on camera that there is a problem of unity in the India Bloc, especially after the recent assembly elections. And they have, in fact, admitted the fact that DMK, Aam Aadmi Party are not attending this meeting is a setback to India Bloc collectively. And that is the larger agenda, that how to keep the flock united. Remember, there was a context in which the India Bloc was formed, and in the last 2024 Lok Sabha elections, India Bloc leaders said that the fact that we tried hard to forge a unity gave us electoral gains. And that is the challenge now, especially in the context of the big debacle in West Bengal and also in Tamil Nadu, where DMK lost to TVK. And so that is why there is a problem in the India Bloc. There is a problem of unity. There are questions being raised about how Congress is managing the affairs. In fact, there is one point that the regional and local parties who are part of India Bloc have told NDTV. The most important thing is that the Congress party has to show a big heart. Congress party has to lead the India Bloc. It has to make adjustments with the smaller parties and their political interest. The allegation of regional and smaller parties is that Congress party at the moment is not ceding space to local and regional parties, and that is why we see a discontent in the India Bloc. In fact, NK Premachandran said that there are issues within the India Bloc, and Congress party, considering that it is the biggest constituent, has to lead this effort to again reunite the India Bloc. Vedika.
Himanshu, Tejri, thank you for joining me live from outside the Constitution Club. These two correspondents of ours here on NDTV will be bringing you the inside track on the conversations taking place inside that meeting on a day when you have Mamata Banerjee, of course, in the national capital. She witnesses the first parliamentary jolt with the Rajya Sabha MP representing the TMC putting in his papers. The BJP claims there are more to come. All eyes will be on how the day and the rest of the week unfolds when it comes to the Trinamool Congress and what comes of this meeting that is being held in the national capital. Slipping to a short break, news and updates on the other side. Stay tuned.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा, मसाला।
आपने तो दीदी को एकदम धो डाला।
इसमें जनता का जीत है, मोदी जी का जीत है।
आज के की खावें झालमुड़ी ना माछेर झोल।
How will you celebrate?
झालमुड़ी माछेर झोल with रसगुल्ला।
You know, you remember you promised me that you will come to Kabini and do an interview with me. You like going to the forest?
This is a declaration of our state that to the entire country that our Kerala is secular.
ये विजय बंगाल की जनता की, विशेष करके मातृशक्ति की।
One clip that went most viral was the non-interview. Cruz spent some time with him. We have these whistles out for you, and the whistles are for the fact that you got the poll right, which is quite fantastic.
We saw you campaigning, ma'am, for the RG Kaur victim's mother as well. You know, that was a telling moment. Do you believe that that incident in some ways was a tipping point?
I think that was not the only incident.
তবে পরাণ খুলে তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে
R Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Navnidhi Sharma, the father of Twisha, joins me one-on-one for the first time.
शुरू में ही देखने को मिल गया था कि क्रिमिनल माइंडसेट है। भेड़िए ने बकरी की खाल में शिकार किया है सर। They are chameleon people.
A brother, Major Harshit, speaks out for the first time on national television.
We have been fighting non-stop. We are not stopping until the justice is served.
Missing, where is your son? Let me ask you that pointed question.
He is ready to face all the questions, but he has to exhaust his legal remedies.
Breaking news coming in. Samarth Singh has finally surrendered. These are fresh visuals coming on your screen. First on NDTV.
आप surrender कर रहे हो, ये surrender नहीं करने दे रहे आपको।
NDTV is the only network in the country that is relentlessly chasing this case.
Joining us live now for the first time is Nagendra Singh, senior advocate, appearing for Samarth Singh.
The girl has gone because of the pressure created by her own parents.
These are difficult circumstances, but the hard questions still need to be asked.
मीठा या नमकीन, चाहे जैसे खाओ, 100% सूजी से बनी R Pure Vermicelli, स्वादिष्ट, सेहतमंद, हर रोज।
Question this morning is no longer whether the Iran-Israel ceasefire framework is actually under strain. It's actually whether it's beginning to unravel in real time. Iran's Revolutionary Guard now says Israel has responded with attacks on targets inside Iranian territory using air-launched ballistic missiles. In fact, Iranian state media, we can confirm, is reporting powerful explosions in Tehran and Isfahan. My colleagues Aditya Raj Kaul, Pradeep and Vishal Vivek are tracking the latest details for you. What's particularly significant here is the timing, because reports had suggested that Washington had been urging restraint and attempting.
Welcome back. In news just coming in, the Indian Embassy in Tehran has advised Indian nationals to exit Iran by available means of transport. I'm going to read out the statement issued by the Embassy of India in Tehran. They say, and I'm going to quote them here, in view of the latest developments in the region, the embassy reiterates its earlier advice to all Indian nationals to avoid any travel to Iran. Indian nationals presently in Iran are also advised to exit the country by available means of transport. My colleague Arjun joins me live from the newsroom. Arjun, the escalation being the biggest that we have seen ever since the truce talks began in April, clearly leading to this advisory that has now been issued by the Indian government.
Absolutely, Vedika. It's as clear as it possibly can, even as clear as daylight, especially with this advisory coming in from the MEA. Of course, asking and rather advising Indian citizens who are in the country right now to get out of the country by any means available to them, and those planning to go to the country, planning travel towards that region to avoid travel. Vedika, apart from this, there's some other breaking updates that we are also tracking now for the first time. The Houthis have in fact come out. They've issued a statement saying that there will be a total and utter block on Israel any Israeli cargo passing through the Red Sea. Now, this essentially opens up another front in the already escalating war. Meanwhile, we are also reportedly hearing media reports coming in from within Israel that the IDF has now confirmed striking Iranian petrochemical plants, and also that we are getting to hear Iran has launched a purported third wave of missile salvos back at Israel. Back to you.
Arjun, do stay with me. I'm also going to go across to Gauri, who joins me live. Gauri, you have Donald Trump coming out and making statements, but the big takeaway from this escalation that we have seen earlier today is also raising a big question: who is calling the shots? Because you're seeing the rift and the widening rift between Israel and the US at this point over whether or not to attack Iran while truce talks are on.
I think that premise that Donald Trump was the one who was in complete control and was the one who was really calling the shots has completely fallen apart, Vedika. The fact that there were absolutely no, consensus, and the fact that Netanyahu and President Trump are not on the same page with regard to Lebanon has been pretty much said again and again. And that is the reason why things have escalated. It's been 100 days of the conflict. And frankly, on day 101, it feels like day one. That's how we've come back. It's like we've come back to square one with regard to this entire conflict. You have Donald Trump asking Netanyahu that step back, I'm the one in charge. I want things to now lead to a certain peace deal. In fact, he had even said that on Monday, Tuesday, which is today or tomorrow, he was hinting that some sort of a peace deal could be in place. But that pretty much looks like it has now completely fallen apart. As things stand right now, there is a real fear that this is now going to escalate, more so with Iran saying that American bases in the region are now legitimate targets.
Do stay with me, Gauri. The update that we have for our viewer also is that Israel's strike on Iran's energy infrastructure marks a fresh escalation in the ongoing conflict. Visuals show a massive plume of smoke rising from a petrochemical facility in Masher, a key industrial hub in southwest Iran. According to reports, the site was hit in an Israeli attack. Masher is home to several major petrochemical installations and plays an important role in Iran's energy sector. Going back to both Gauri as well as Arjun. Arjun, this is the concern and continues to be. You see the markets rallying, global markets rallying every time there is even aggressive rhetoric when it comes to this war. And now with a petrochemical facility being the target, this is a concern that energy infrastructure will be again the collateral damage in this aggressive war between the two sides.
Well, absolutely, Vedika, as actually Gauri was rightly pointing out, at the 101st date, it seems like we are back at day one. Oil prices, again, they're reaching the $100 barrier. We saw around a $2.5, $3 increase just this morning. Moreover, with these petrochemical plants and other energy targets back in the fray, now we again have an exacerbated list of targets which Iran could also possibly attack. Now these also includes vital desalination plants and other sort of targets, industrial and as well as civilian targets that we have been speaking of. But very important to also underline here that the stakes for Netanyahu are very different than the stakes for Trump. Very, very important to mention the planned elections in Israel, which were supposed to take place in October. They might have to be pushed ahead if the conflict continues. So there's a lot more to this than meets the eye at first glance. Back to you, Vedika.
Elaborate that with Gauri. Gauri, like Arjun pointed out, different countries, different stakes here when it comes to the West Asia war. Just take us through why this aggression is right on top of the priority list when it comes to Netanyahu, despite Donald Trump warning him against it.
See, all of these stakeholders, Vedika, are viewing the present state through a different prism. As far as Donald Trump is concerned,
Right, there seems to be a problem there, but we will try and reconnect with our reporters. But for now, all right, Gauri, you're back with us. Continue.
I was saying that all of those stakeholders in the conflict, Vedika, are now viewing this conflict through a different prism. When it comes to Donald Trump, see, gasoline prices are already 50% up in America. He has a midterm election to face in about 5 months from now. He wants an off-ramp. He wants an exit. He wants an honorable way to get out of this conflict. As far as Netanyahu is concerned, Arjun was right in pointing out that he has to now look at the domestic political sentiment that exists right now. And let's not forget that there's a very important and powerful far-right lobby as well in Israel, which is why the conflict with regard to Hezbollah continues. As far as Iran is concerned, let's make it very clear that 100 days into this conflict, Iran's military strength stands massively diminished, which is why its most important proxy in the region, Hezbollah, matters to it even more. And that's the reason why the Hezbollah ceasefire, the Lebanon ceasefire, call it whatever you want, because it's not the Lebanese army that's fighting. They have to be part of any deal. That's what Iran has been saying all along, something that Netanyahu has resisted, but remains to be seen how far and how long can he do that.
Gauri, Arjun, thanks for joining me live on that big story, our top international story of the hour. Now, the latest round of strikes has once again raised the stakes across West Asia with implications far beyond Israel and Iran. Now, for Iran, the challenge is deciding its next move. Tehran must weigh the costs of further escalation against the possibility of keeping diplomatic channels open with Washington, D.C. At the same time, the latest attacks underline the vulnerability of key military assets and add pressure on the country's leadership. For Israel, the strikes are intended to reinforce deterrence and signal that attacks on its territory will be met with a response. But they also raise the risk of a longer, more unpredictable conflict, particularly with multiple security fronts still active across the region. Now let's move to the United States of America. The escalation comes at a delicate moment. Diplomatic efforts aimed at stabilizing the situation face fresh obstacles now, while differences in approach between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu have come under sharper focus. Washington is also keen to avoid being drawn deeper into another regional conflict. And for the wider region now, let's talk about that as well. That's the big picture. Fears of a broader war have returned. Any further escalation could draw in proxy groups who are already threaten key shipping and energy routes, and add fresh uncertainty to already fragile regional stability. The coming days will be critical. Whether the region moves towards diplomacy or a deeper confrontation may depend on the decisions taken in Tehran, in Tel Aviv, and in Washington. So that's the big picture when it comes to this conflict between Iran, US, and Israel. What we're being told also is that Donald Trump has expressed his frustration. It's not the first time we're being told through reports, basically and fundamentally these reports coming in from the US media, that he has warned Netanyahu not to escalate the war at a time when truce talks are gathering momentum. What is happening across the table in terms of dialogue is anybody's guess at this point. But for Donald Trump, this is being seen, at least the optics of it is being seen as a huge blow, given that this war has just escalated to a level it hadn't since April, when the talks between the two countries had begun. But we're seeing retaliation by Israel. We're seeing both countries, Iran and Israel, trading attacks, and petrochemical facilities also being hit in Iran, because of which concerns globally, of course, also over what the ramifications of the latest escalation could be for the world. Now, Iran and Israel are once again on the brink of a major escalation. In a fresh flare-up, Iran has fired multiple ballistic missiles towards Israel, triggering air raid alerts and activating Israel's air defense systems. Tehran has defended the strike, saying it will not tolerate aggression against Lebanon. Iran has warned that any further action by Israel will invite even more crushing response. Meanwhile, Israel has launched retaliatory attacks hours after Iran launched ballistic missiles towards Israel. Trump had called Netanyahu, asking him not to retaliate against Iran's attacks, but Netanyahu has defied him. Netanyahu said he can't accept everything that Donald Trump asks for. Remember, this is also important given the elections coming up in his country. Earlier, Donald Trump had said Netanyahu would have no choice but to accept any deal negotiated by Washington with Tehran, adding that he and not Netanyahu calls the shots. But the big question here is, who is calling the shots when it comes to the West Asia war between the alliance of the US and Israel?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. رژیم متجاوز صهیونیستی با نقض مکرر آتش بس شرارت‌های خود علیه مردم مظلوم لبنان را با چراغ سبز و حمایت آمریکای جنایتکار و سکوت مجامع بین‌المللی روز به روز افزایش داده و با استفاده از سلاح‌های ممنوعه از جمله بمب‌های فسفوری مرتکب جنایات جنگی می‌گردد. با وجود هشدارهای قبلی جمهوری اسلامی ایران، رژیم کودککش صهیونیستی با عبور از همه خطوط قرمز و افزایش حملات در جنوب لبنان زاویه بیروت را هدف قرار داده است. قبلا اخطار داده بودیم در صورت گسترش جنایت در زاویه بیروت اهدافی را در سرزمین‌های اشغالی مورد هجوم قرار می‌دهیم. ارتش صهیونیستی باید حملات خود به جنوب لبنان و زاهیه را متوقف نماید و در صورت گسترش حملات خود به آن منطقه و یا پاسخ به اقدام ایران با ضربات کوبنده تر و پشیمان کننده روبرو و حملات ویرانگری علیه رژیم و حامیان آن آغاز خواهد شد و من نصر الا من عند الله العزیز الحکیم.
משטר הטרור האיראני ביצע טעות חמורה כאשר בחר פעם נוספת בטרור. המשטר מנסה לייצר משוואה חדשה, כאשר הוא מבצע ירי ישיר לשטחנו בתגובה לתקיפות צה"ל בדחיה. אנחנו לא נאפשר זאת. תקפנו בדחיה בעקבות הירי הבלתי פוסק של חיזבאללה לעבר יישובי הצפון. צה"ל ימשיך לפעול בכל רחבי לבנון ויעמיק את הפגיעה בארגון הטרור חיזבאללה. לא נאפשר המשך ירי לעבר אזרחי מדינת ישראל.
And here's what the leaders of Israel and the United States of America had said right before the fresh wave of Iranian attacks.
כוחותינו חיסלו בשבוע האחרון בלבד 350 מחבלים. 350 מחבלים בשבוע האחרון. הם תפסו את רכס הבופור, הם מצאו שם תשתית ענק של תת קרקע. אנחנו משלימים את חיסול כפרי הטרור צמודי הגבול שלנו, ואנחנו מכים בהם בצורה חזקה מאוד, ואנחנו יודעים שחיזבאללה נמצא במנוס. אנחנו לא נאפשר ירי על שטחנו או על יישובינו, ואנחנו נפעל בהתאם.
Get along very well. We've been great comrades. We did a very, very big number on a certain country that was nothing but trouble for 47 years. I disagree with him on a couple of things. I'd like to see Lebanon have a better life. I'd like to see a more surgical attack on Hezbollah. I think it should be more surgical. And we can help them with that, or we can recommend Syria. Syria is doing a very good job of cleaning up their act. They have a very good leader. They have a leader that's really done a good job in a short period of time, and he would love to help.
Are you demanding that Lebanon be a part of the short-term deal that you're negotiating?
Gauri, who is live with me. Gauri, Lebanon is playing a huge role when it comes to the rising tensions, the renewed rising tensions between Israel and Iran at this point. Just take us through why Lebanon remains a sticking point even in the larger truce talks between the US and Iran.
You know, ever since this war started, Israel has been very clear all along that it wants to now attack all the fronts on which it has been attacked. And Hezbollah has been the other main front through which its communities have been battered in the north. Essentially, northern Israel is where Hezbollah has been launching its rockets, and the arsenal of Hezbollah has not diminished, Vedika. And I think that needs to be understood very categorically, just how much of military arsenal and prowess Hezbollah still retains right now, which is why Israel feels on one end that because it has the backing of US, it has the backing of Donald Trump, it can go ahead and demolish the one big threat that it continues to face, which is Hezbollah. Iran, on the other hand, is absolutely clear that Hezbollah is extremely important in the network of proxies that it has in its entire region. Hamas has been completely decimated to a large extent. I won't say completely, but to a large extent. That isn't the case as far as Hezbollah is concerned. So Hezbollah Hezbollahs and Houthis. These are the two very important proxies that Iran continues to have in the region, which is why Hezbollah is so important. As far as Lebanon is concerned, remember the Lebanese military, the Lebanese government right now plays very little to no role whatsoever in any of this architecture as far as Israel is concerned. Which is why getting clarity as far as Hezbollah is the most important aspect.
All right, Gauri, thanks for your perspective there. We'll keep coming back to you for more on this big story here on Breaking Ground. A quick recap of all that has happened in the last couple of hours in our big story. Iran has launched missiles at Israel, marking the first such bombardment since the ceasefire in April. The attack comes after Israeli strikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon, with Iran's Revolutionary Guard warning Israel to halt its operations in the neighboring country. Sirens sounded across northern Israel following the detection of an Iranian missile. The Air Force has successfully intercepted all missiles so far. No casualties have been reported. Sirens sounded across Israel Monday morning when its military said it detected a missile launched from Yemen, the first such incident reported since April. Hours after Iran launched ballistic missiles towards Israel, the Israeli military says it has carried out fresh strikes on military targets in western and central Iran. Celebrations seen in Tehran as missiles flew overhead en route to Israel. Large crowds gathered at Tehran's iconic square, the Engalab Square, chanting in unison and calling on the IRGC's aerospace commander to strike Tel Aviv. Celebrations have also taken place and taken hold of Baalbek, Lebanon, as the people rejoice over Iran's response to Israel's attack on Lebanon. Iran says the launch was retaliation for Israel's earlier attack in Beirut and other US-Israeli ceasefire breaches. On that note, we're stepping a short break. Once we come back, we of course will also focus on the India bloc meeting where Mamata Banerjee is a part of it on a day when she's in the national capital and she has witnessed the first parliamentary jolt to her party with a Rajya Sabha MP quitting. More on that in moments from now. Stay tuned to Breaking Ground.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा सबका राजा और मसाला।
The situation in the Strait of Hormuz right
Yes.
now and Iran, the last 48 hours have been tense. Is there a sense that strikes are imminent?
Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. And so the issues of enrichment and the highly enriched uranium have to be confronted. The straits cannot continue to be closed.
The import of American oil is important for India, particularly because of the situation.
India wants to diversify its energy. We want to diversify the countries we export to.
There is also an issue of visas for Indians. They have to come back to India for green cards now. Why has America taken this decision?
Well, it's not about India, it's about the whole world. Anytime you reform a system, there's going to be some disruptions, there's going to be some hiccups.
How did the meeting with the Prime Minister go? What did you discuss?
Relationship between the President Trump and Prime Minister Modi. I think that always makes it easier to have these meetings because of the personal affinity they have to one another.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
this interview.
Thanks.
Thank you
very much.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
The question this morning is no longer whether the Iran-Israel ceasefire framework is actually under strain. It's actually whether it's beginning to unravel in real time. Iran's Revolutionary Guard now says Israel has responded with attacks on targets inside Iranian territory using air-launched ballistic missiles. In fact, Iranian state media, we can confirm, is reporting powerful explosions in Tehran and Isfahan. My colleagues Aditya Raj Kaul, Pradeep and Vishal Vivek are tracking the latest details for you. What's particularly significant here is the timing, because reports had suggested that Washington had been urging restraint and attempting to preserve diplomatic momentum around broader US and Iran engagement. Yet, events on the ground appear to be moving faster than diplomacy. My colleagues are tracking the latest updates. Aditya, to you first. We've noticed something quite clear. Lebanon remains central to this story. What do we know about the targets Israel is believed to have struck inside Iran at the moment?
That's right, Parmeshwar. We are picking up since last night a major escalation that has taken place across the Middle East. In fact, yesterday afternoon, there was a major, operation that was launched by the IDF. A go-ahead was given after a security meeting by the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the Defense Minister Israel Katz. And a major operation was launched in a place called Dahiya in Lebanon, in which what the IDF says is that a major terror plot by Hezbollah was neutralized.
Okay.
And due to this, Iran launched a major escalation. In fact, 10 ballistic missiles last night were fired towards Israel. While there wasn't any major impact that was noticed, all these missiles were neutralized, but this was seen as a major escalation. Iran says on its part that as part of the wider ceasefire deal, Lebanon is a very much part of that ceasefire deal. There needs to be a ceasefire by the IDF and Israel in Lebanon. And if there is no ceasefire, then the war could possibly resume. And that's what we are witnessing right now. Last night, there was hectic, negotiations as well as, discussions between Netanyahu and Trump as well. They spoke for nearly 30 minutes, but it did not stop from Israel from retaliating. Early this morning at around 4:30 a.m., Israel launched retaliatory attacks, at least in 10 different locations of Iran, including Tehran as well. While details are still trickling in, this is a major escalation. It does seem like that after nearly 3 months and 10 days of the war beginning on the 28th of Feb, the war has, again reignited. Even as Trump says that they were close to a ceasefire deal, it doesn't seem like that there would be a deal anytime soon with this major escalation.
Unfortunately, that seems to be the scenario as we speak. Aditya, thanks so much for joining us with that update. Do stay on with us as I also get in an update from Vishal Vivek and Pradeep Datta at the moment. Vishal, speaking of Donald Trump, speaking of America, we were hearing that Washington had urged restraint. So then what does this tell us about the limits of American influence over events in the region at this moment?
Well, there have been many theories floating around, Parmeshwar, that Israel has been calling the shots from behind the scenes. But publicly, Trump has been quite vehement in suggesting that it is Trump that has been calling the shots. In fact, he literally just said that it is him who is calling the shots. There's nothing in Netanyahu's power to do at the moment, but the results are totally different. Netanyahu is the one that seems to be defying what Trump is publicly saying. Trump and his co-workers, his officials, had clearly indicated that Israel will not be attacking Lebanon when the ceasefire was agreed upon a few days ago, last week, to be precise. So what happened in the space of 2-3 days, that remains to be seen. Israel seems to be suggesting that it was Hezbollah that attacked the northern part of Israel, and that is what Israel was responding against. It attacked the stronghold of Hezbollah, which is Dahiya, on the in the southern suburbs of Beirut, and that is how this whole stress escalation started. To which Iran also responded. Those symbolic 10 missiles were fired in the direction of Israel. All of them were intercepted, as Aditya was rightly suggesting. So whether or not these attacks will turn into from symbolic to doing damage that they have been doing in the first part of the war, that remains to be seen. Will these attacks take the shape of bigger attacks? That is the bigger question right now.
Indeed. Vishal, as always, thank you so much. Pradeep continues to be with us too. Pradeep, the IRGC claims Israel has used air-launched ballistic missiles. Has Israel officially commented on the nature of this latest operation? And also tell us, what are regional governments doing in response currently?
As my colleagues had been rightly saying, that defying what actually the Donald Trump had been saying, that there has been a counter-attack from the Israeli side. The blast sounds were heard in Tabriz, Tehran, as well as in Ishpan area. If we talk about the Ishpan area, this is the place where there is a nuclear reactor. And last year, in the month of June, also this area was targeted. And already IRGC has come out with a statement. They are saying that how they have used air ballistic missile from the Israeli side. They have targeted the government structures. So far, it's not clear what kind of damage these attacks have caused or not. That's not clear. But yes, the blast sounds we heard, that's what all we know. We have seen that why, now the question arises, why this escalation? Because for the last several days, IDF had been targeting areas in Lebanon, they have been targeting Hezbollah. Why all of a sudden that Iran decided to launch attack on Israel, fired several of those rockets toward the northern side? The answer is simple. Because this time, what actually the Israel had done, they had targeted the southern suburb of Daya, that is the area in Beirut. If we talk about the Daya, this is considered to be one of the strongholds of Hezbollah. This is considered to be spiritual, ideological, as well as the military center. And somewhere the Iran from day one had been trying to save Hezbollah because Hezbollah is one of their proxies. They had made it clear during the ceasefire also. The ceasefire need to be extended to Lebanon also because
This is Breaking Ground. You're with me, Vedika Sood. Our top focus, West Asia is once again on edge. In the biggest escalation since April ceasefire, Israel and Iran have resumed exchanging strikes, raising fresh fears that months of fragile diplomacy could be slipping away. Israel has struck targets inside Iran after intercepting Iranian missiles, while Tehran says its actions were a response to Israeli attacks on Beirut. But this crisis is about more than just military action. It is also about differences between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. Donald Trump reportedly urged restraint and has continued to push for negotiations with Iran, while Israel appears determined to maintain military pressure. The conflict is also showing signs of widening. Israel says it intercepted a missile from Yemen, bringing Iran-backed Houthis back into the picture, while Tehran has warned that key regional shipping routes could be at risk. So is this a temporary flare-up or the start of a more dangerous phase in the conflict? And what does it mean for Iran, Israel, and the United States of America and the wider region? That'll be our top international focus this hour on Breaking Ground. But first, as always, a check on the headlines at the top of 1 p.m. here on Breaking Ground. First, parliamentary jolt for Mamata Banerjee. Trinamool Congress MP Sukhendu Shekhar quits party. This while Mamata is in the national capital attending the India bloc meeting. India bloc meets in Delhi. DMK and the Aam Aadmi Party skip the meeting. DMK left train guns on Congress, say more parties will quit alliance due to the grand old party. Israel mounts attack on Iran, defies calls for restraint from Donald Trump, targets petrochemical plant in Iran. Energy sites once again at the center of destruction. Markets in red amid fresh Iran-Israel escalation. Nifty Sensex tumble. Crude oil prices surge 4%. Rupee falls 17 paise to 95.35 against the US dollar. And powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake strikes Philippines. 4 killed. Tsunami warning issued. We have some breaking news coming in at the top of 1 p.m. Right-wing YouTuber Maridas has been arrested by Chennai Cybercrime Police in the state of Tamil Nadu. He was picked up from his residence in Madurai earlier today. His arrest is linked to alleged derogatory remarks made against the Chief Minister Vijay and several state ministers during a YouTube interview. He has now been taken into custody and is expected to be brought to Chennai for further questioning as the investigation continues. Vijay is joining me live. Vijay, the details of the case.
Vidika, the details of the case is yet not clear, but however, we got information from police officials. Police officials have booked Maridas under 3 sections, 2 under BNS Act 79, 352 and also 66D of IT Act. So, under these sections, police have booked a case against YouTuber Maridas for allegedly passing defamatory remarks against certain women leaders and also for passing fake news and rumors through social social media. You know, remember Maridas is a famous YouTuber in Tamil Nadu and right-wing supporter. Even during then DMK government also, he got arrested once for passing allegedly defamatory remarks against then ministers. Now also, he has been highly critical of TVK government. He has been posting videos on YouTube, on his YouTube page against the TVK government, and also very recently he posted on X platform against Industry Minister Kirtana. For this only, police sources indicate for this only he has been arrested for alleged defamatory remarks against the minister by spreading fake images with minister. So now police has arrested him. He has been brought to Chennai through roadways. And also on the other hand, ADMK and BJP strongly criticized the arrest, strongly criticized the TVK government, questioning the arrest, and also they call this as an atrocious act, Vedika.
Rahul Eshwar also joining me on the phone line. Vijay, do stay with me. I'll come back to you in a moment. Mr. Eshwar, what's your first reaction to Maridas's arrest? We're being told it's over derogatory remarks made against the TVK government.
Yeah, only two submissions. First of all, public figures, public personalities should have a stomach for such things, and they should not be overly touchy about these things. No, the final details of case are yet to emerge, but Maridas is a very prominent activist and figure, and he has been there actively in the Tamil Nadu scenario for the past many years. He has also faced prosecution and persecution in many other cases. I would urge, we are all huge fans of Vijay, I would urge Joseph Vijay to be more tolerant of dissent, and we should see these as dissent and difference of opinion, and not as defamation and some kind of bullying. I hope democracy will only thrive and flourish when there is dissent and difference of opinion. It's very unfortunate that Mr. Maridas has been arrested.
All right, Mr. Eshwar, thanks for joining us there. Vijay, coming back to you, let's just talk about the previous run-ins that Maridas has also had with previous governments, if any.
Vidika, that's right. On various occasions, Maridas has released many videos against then DMK government. Yes. Also. Especially, he had raised many questions against alleged corruption and charges against DMK ministers, former DMK ministers. Even also, he also on many occasions he faced many cases, and also he got arrested from Madurai district. Then BJP fought for him legally and helped Maridas to fight those cases. Even now, today after his arrest, BJP leader Tamilisai Soundararajan and ADMK also gave voice for Maridas, and they have strongly criticized TVK government. Especially ADMK posted a long post on X platform questioning the arrest, calling the arrest as atrocious act from TVK government. They also said even though government has changed, the action by the government has not changed. They compared then DMK government with the present TVK government, and also they questioned Maridas has recently posted a video questioning the Adav Arjuna for the alleged ED arrest by one person called John Brito. He had a connection. Maridas had posted a video saying that Adav Arjuna and the accused had a connection. So in this case only, Maridas has been arrested. But as of now, police has not given a clarification regarding the arrest for exactly what case he was arrested. But under 3 section for spreading fake news and fake narratives, rumors across social media has been arrested. More details.
Just stay with me for a moment. We will come back to you for more. But we have Mr. Tirupati also joining me on the phone line. Mr. Tirupati, news coming in of the well-known right-wing YouTuber Maridas being arrested for defamatory comments against the TVK government. Wanted an official BJP reaction from you on this.
The DMK 2.0 government, the TVK government, is trying to follow what the DMK has done. People threw DMK government because the democracy was killed during their government. The freedom of speech was curtailed by the DMK government. They are following the footsteps of the DMK government. Why should unnecessarily they should arrest YouTuber Mr. Maridas? Because he was criticizing the TVK's government's inability. He was criticizing the DMK's government's maladministration. That is the reason the Chief Minister Vijay has done this. This is highly condemnable, and we demand, the BJP demands that Mr. Maridas should be immediately freed.
We've also seen voices of dissent, also a crackdown on such voices of dissent in other states, Mr. Tirupati. So why is it different when it comes to the TVK government in this case is my question to you.
They are unable to bear it. They are unable to bear the criticism, and Another thing is that the criticisms what Mr. Maridas and others are leveling against the government is very clear that this government is unable and its inability to govern. That is the main issue. And as told by our Vijay, the John Brito issue is a very serious issue, wherein the TVK government, the Chief Minister should have definitely, he should have explained. He should have come out openly that he should have in support of ED, that the John Brito, who is a very a relative of the minister, he should be there. They have got a lot of cases against him, and particularly when we are charging the government that the drug trafficking is more. So definitely, the government should give a clarification on this, that they should immediately free Mr. Maridas.
All right, thank you for joining me on the phone line. We'll wait for an official word to come in, if any, from the TVK as well on this big development that has taken place in the state of Tamil Nadu. An update coming in on the big story from the Trinamool Congress turmoil. Sukhendu Shekhar Ray, who has quit the party as well as the post of MP from the TMC, has cited reasons for his exit. He has said due to scams, women harassment, poor education system, no industry, abysmal law and order under the 15 years of TMC rule, the people of Bengal have historic mandate to the BJP. The BJP has started delivering their manifesto promises for public welfare. I have Sheshi joining me live to bring us the details of what Mr. Ray has said after he has quit as MP and the party. Sheshi, what are the details you can share with us? A lot of reasons being cited there by Sukhendu Ray. He's also cited industry being one of them and has also praised the BJP. If you could tell us more about that as well, where he says that they started delivering on their mandate already.
Well, Sukhendu Shekhar Roy in that press statement written in Bangla has cited several lapses on part of the Trinamool Congress for losing power after 15 years of a government here in West Bengal, under which he has named law and order situation, women being harassed, the kind of scams that have come to the forefront, the abysmal state of the education system in the state, no industries that have also come up here in the state of West Bengal, and all these reasons have led to BJP's landslide victory and the historic mandate that the party has got because of the failures on part of the Trinamool Congress government, and thus he has said that he has accepted this people's mandate with his head bowed down, and he has decided to not just step down from the Rajya Sabha membership but also quit the Trinamool Congress's primary membership. So of course, while we have been saying that this might not numerically impact the Trinamool Congress in the parliament at the moment, but of course the optics of it really not playing out well at a time when Mamata Banerjee herself is in New Delhi, and Sukhendu Shekhar Roy, known as an old guard, known to be close to Mamata Banerjee, and of course one of the veteran Trinamool Congress parliamentarians since 2011 when the party came to power here in West Bengal, and one of the strongest voice in the parliament, deciding to not just leave the Trinamool Congress and also resign from the Rajya Sabha seat. And of course he had hinted at how many other parliamentarians could be following the steps taken by the MLAs here in the Vidhan Sabha, which earlier decided to desert Mamata Banerjee and her party and back the expelled Trinamool Congress MLA Reintroduce Banerjee to give him support as the leader of the opposition. Now this has never happened before in the Trinamool Congress, because one decision taken by Mamata Banerjee is often followed by all within the party, but this time her leader of the opposition, which was Shobhandev Chattopadhyay, another veteran and former minister of the West Bengal government, his leader of the opposition post now completely sidelined and under the CID scanner, in fact, has given way to the expelled MLA Reintroduce Banerjee to become the leader of the opposition. So the larger question lies whether Mamata Banerjee is losing grip of her own party members at a time she's trying to put up a brave face in that India Alliance meeting at the Constitution Club.
Stay with me, Shreyashi. I'm going to come back to you in a couple of minutes from now. The Trinamool Congress is facing a fresh turbulence with senior Rajya Sabha MP, like Shreyashi just pointed out, resigning both from Parliament as well as the party. Roy, who entered the Rajya Sabha in 2011, has cited differences with the party's direction, while the BJP claims the rift between Mamata Banerjee and Roy had been deepening for some time now. The development comes as Mamata Banerjee is in the national capital for the India Bloc meeting, which is underway. Sources indicate that nearly 20 TMC MPs, and this is important to note, a big development through sources that we're getting to know of, are in touch and exploring a possible joint representation against the party leadership. A senior MP is even said to have taken a connecting flight via Delhi for discreet meetings linked to these discussions. With some MPs skipping party events and others remaining out of contact, speculation of a wider churn is now growing.
ऑल टाइम रिकॉर्ड हुआ पोलिंग में, ऐसा हिंदुस्तान में और कहीं हुआ कि नहीं हुआ मुझे मालूम नहीं। इसका क्या कारण थी, जनता इतना खपा क्यों हो गए, इसके लिए कोई भी पोस्टमार्टम पार्टी का अंदर नहीं हुआ। पिछले 15 साल जब सत्ता में जो लोग थे, कोई मंत्री, कोई पंचायत के लीडर, कोई काउंसिलर, कोई मेयर वगैरह वगैरह, तो ये लोग के आसपास जाना मुश्किल था, उन लोगों का पैर धरती पे नहीं था। तो आम जो हमारे ये वर्कर्स है, उनका बात सोचिए, जिन्होंने अपना खून और पसीना दे के पार्टी को मजबूत किया, बरसों से उन्होंने लड़ाई किया वाम मोर्चा के खिलाफ, वो लोग पीछे चले गए। दलाल लोग, चोर, डकैत, रेपिस्ट, ये लोग सब सामने आ गया। अभी तो सब निकल रहा है ना, टीवी पर दिखाई दे रहा है।
तृणमूल कांग्रेस का साथ या उनका हाईकमांड का साथ सुखेंदु शेखर जी का बहुत विचार संपर्क हो गए थे। कारण पार्टी जो गलत दिशा पे जा रहा था, इस बारे में उनका बहुत स्थान पर आपत्ति थी, लेकिन पार्टी तो गलत दिशा जाएंगे ऐसा निर्णय कर चुका है, इसलिए संपर्क बहुत दिन से खराब था। दूसरा बात, अभी तृणमूल कांग्रेस हारने का बाद सारे एमएलए एमपी तृणमूल को छोड़ने का मंशा बना लिया। वो अभी तृणमूल को छोड़ के पलायन करना चाहते हैं, और इसीलिए सुखेंदु शेखर भी कैसे रहेंगे, इसीलिए ये तो शुरुआत हुआ, और भी आप देखिए आगे चल के तृणमूल कांग्रेस का सारे सफाया हो जाएगा, कोई नहीं बचेगा।
And earlier, in an exclusive interview with NDTV, Sukhendu Shekhar Roy said the party's future looked bleak and that it could not sustain itself for long.
I could understand and foresee that this debacle will happen, and it is inevitably occurred because the mass upsurge that everyone witnessed during Arjikar horror, demanding justice. Crores of people across the states, even outside India, they came on the street to protest. In my almost 60-year-long political life, I never witnessed such mass upsurge. And everybody was very disciplined, calm, quiet, in a peaceful and democratic manner. They expressed their angst against the way the investigation, so-called inquiry was going on, so-called investigation was going on. Everybody could understand that things are pushed under the carpet so that the culprits behind the incident, all of them, they are saved.
Right. To be shielded.
To be shielded. To seal the main culprits. So many drama was staged.
We're seeing that the party is crashing down like a house of cards, Tashe Desh. Like that What would be the future of the party?
Future is absolutely bleak. And to be more judgmental, if I become more judgmental, then I think that this party cannot continue for a long time. I don't think that any political party in the country believes our party.
Okay, so they will not accept.
No, they may accept for strategical reason. Sometimes there may be some alliance here or there. I don't know. I cannot foresee. But what I say that our party's reputation nationally is so bad. I have so many friends in different political parties. वो लोग they say that you see आपको leadership को हम लोग विश्वास नहीं करते हैं.
And murmurs of unease within Trinamool Congress may be getting louder, with multiple signals point to what could be a brewing internal churn. Sources indicate that a senior TMC MP from a district around Kolkata recently took an unusual travel route, flying from Mumbai to Kolkata via Delhi instead of a direct connection. The layover in the national capital is believed to have been used for a series of discreet meetings. In another instance, a party MP with a sports background is said to have undergone a noticeable shift in tone towards the leadership. Sources suggest the MP has even begun referring to Mamata Banerjee by name, moving away from the customary Didi. There are also indications of discontent in North 24 Parganas. An MP from the region who had reportedly been keen on securing an assembly ticket is said to have switched off his phone for nearly 24 hours. Meanwhile, an actor turned MP has arrived in Delhi on what is being described as an unscheduled work commitment. Sources add that the MP has been gradually distancing themselves from party activities in recent weeks, and it's not just isolated cases. Two MPs from North Bengal whose spouses are politically active are also believed to be part of the growing dissenting camp within the party. All indications at this point are based on sources, but they do point to signs of a potential mutiny taking shape further within the TMC. A lot of worrying signs, Shreyashi, for Mamata Banerjee. It's not just the MLAs who had given her the jolt, of course. It's far beyond that now, and how much of this can be contained is the big question. There's an imbalance, clearly, of those with Mamata and those against her within the party fold.
Well, that's right, and more than the media, I think it's for the Trinamool Congress to see which MPs and MLAs are staying close to the Mamata Banerjee camp and those who have deserted. They would be at a better position to really judge that, because in the last few, days of the meetings that were held at Mamata Banerjee's residence, we've only seen some of her very close aides attend those meetings, though they have said on record that it was the National Working Committee meeting. MPs like Derek O'Brien, Dola Sen, Kalyan Banerjee, these are the MPs that we are seeing stick by Mamata Banerjee's side, while several of her other outspoken MPs who we've seen in the run-up to the elections hold multiple campaigns, speak out against the BJP, almost disappear from the political scenes at the moment. But of course, the first jolt came with Kakoli Ghosh Dostidar turning her back on the Trinamool Congress over the chief whip position within the Lok Sabha, where she was holding that position. But later, Mamata Banerjee, after the poll results, decided to reinstate Kalyan Banerjee as the chief whip. That triggered Kakoli Ghosh Dostidar to speak out against the party, and we saw her statements coming in, and thereafter how she decided to distance herself from the Trinamool Congress. She even is the first Trinamool Congress MP to get MHA, security. The central security that she gets is now given to her by the Ministry of Home Affairs. On the other hand, today, of course, Sukhender Shekhar Roy stepping down from not just the party's primary membership, but also from his Rajya Sabha seat in New Delhi, just a kilometer away from where Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee have joined that India Alliance meeting. But of course, time will tell how many really stay back in the Trinamool Congress and how many decided to walk away.
Shashi, thanks for joining me on that big political story of the hour. Let's also just tell our viewer, cracks now appear to be widening within the Trinamool Congress, not just in the Assembly, but potentially in Parliament as well. According to NDTV, there are growing reports of disquiet among TMC MPs, with sources indicating that several parliamentarians are now in touch with the rebel camp that has already challenged the leadership in Bengal. The unrest is being linked to internal power equations within the party, with many MPs said to be unhappy over the shifting balance of influence. A key trigger, sources say, is the rising prominence that Mamata Banerjee has enjoyed within the party, something that has not gone down well with sections of the old guard who are now pushing for a larger role in decision making. Nepotism has been a concern that many of them have been saying they have voice, but their voice hasn't reached the top. There are also indications that the party's Delhi unit is emerging as a new power center, even as the fault lines that first appeared in Kolkata begin to extend to the national capital. The rebel camp, meanwhile, is claiming that its support base is not limited to the assembly and that the churn is now spreading to the parliamentary ranks as well. We've already seen one MP put in his papers. All of this has raised serious questions about whether the unrest within the Trinamool Congress could escalate into a broader revolt, moving from Kolkata to Delhi and from the assembly to parliament. We're now going to bring you the inside track of the India Bloc meeting that is taking place in the Constitution Club in the national capital. The Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge has spoken to the leaders inside that venue at the party meet, and we are getting to you the details of Kharge's speech in the India Alliance meet. He has said, and I'm going to quote him here, this group came into existence almost exactly 3 years ago. I don't want to elaborate, as you all know the issues facing us well. We demonstrated our solidarity and unity very decisively in the Lok Sabha on the 17th of April 2026, when we all united strongly and defeated the Modi government's malicious bills on delimitation. Now we must further strengthen and build on this spirit to address the numerous political, economic, social and foreign policy challenges facing the country due to the Modi government's misgovernance. Millions of our people are being deprived of their right to vote due to the SIR. Tejshri is joining me live. Tejshri, bring us the inside track. We've seen Mallikarjun Kharge touch upon several issues, be it delimitation, be it SIR. What else has he said? What has the response been from the other leaders of this bloc?
Well, absolutely. You see, what we are learning as of now is just in few minutes from now, the India Bloc leaders will now be, in fact, holding a press conference, and there are, in fact, pictures emerging of Mamata Banerjee and Sonia Gandhi hugging each other. And right now, in fact, also important to notice the discussions that are going on as far as the SIR is concerned. Apart from that, they are also talking about how to strengthen the India Bloc, because we have been seeing that how several leaders have been, again and again focusing on India Bloc, no matter what, should stay united, keeping in mind the fact that there have already been a lot of cracks. When the India Bloc was formed, they in fact were all together, say it be Aam Aadmi Party, DMK, and their whole and soul motto was to stay together during the elections as well, and then defeat the BJP. But now here, what the larger goal is to keep the regional parties also together, is what Congress believes. Definitely, it is in fact a challenge for the Congress party as well to keep all the regional parties together, because we have been seeing that how one by one there have been also a lot of cracks within the alliances as well. So let us see that what actually turns out in today's meeting. Back to you.
Also, Himanshu joining me live from the Constitution Club. Himanshu, let's just talk about the DMK for a moment. There are other party leaders within the alliance who want the DMK also to be a part of this fold. What are you hearing? What's the inside track on that after the divorce of the Congress and the DMK post the Congress backing the TVK in the state of Tamil Nadu?
Well, the Samajwadi Party has said, in fact, Samajwadi Party MP Rajiv Rai told me in an interview that effort should be made to bring back DMK in the India Bloc fold, and the leaders of India Bloc must reach out to the DMK. They are saying the Samajwadi Party also thinks that perhaps the anger that has been shown by the DMK leadership against Congress could also be justified, considering the fact that it fought elections with Congress and then Congress changed hands, has now joined the TVK government in Tamil Nadu. So there is a thinking now that if you want to keep the India bloc intact, then all the constituents must be brought together. And the break in the unity that has been witnessed in recent weeks needs to be addressed seriously. And this is also the point that has been made by left parties also, who also believe that there should be an effort to keep the India bloc united. And this is a point that Congress President has also made in the meeting when he started the discussions, and he very categorically said, and I quote, that on 17th April 2026, because of opposition unity, the opposition parties could collectively bring down the bill that was brought in for delimitation and women's reservation. And it showed that if opposition remains united, then they can fight for rights of people. And that is exactly what needs to be done now. And he has outlined in his inaugural address the challenges that India faces on the diplomatic front, economic front, on political front. The allegation is that constitution is being weakened, the enforcement agencies are being misused, and there are social problems on the ground like rise of inflation, the challenge to employment, etc. So that is the effort, essentially, that in the wake of what has happened in Tamil Nadu, the effort must be to bring back India bloc to the pre-assembly election level. That's
all right, Himanshu, Tejshri, thanks for joining me live. We'll keep coming back to you for more on the Inside Track from Constitution Club there. A quick recap for our viewer. India Alliance is holding a crucial meeting to determine its future strategy, with 23 political parties in attendance following the breakdown of its alliance with the Congress, the DMK, and the Aam Aadmi Party. Both have skipped the meeting, while TMC, SP, NCP, PDP are attending this meet. Cracks appear to widen among the allies. DMK left and Aam Aadmi Party have slammed the Congress, although Shiv Sena UBT has backed Rahul Gandhi. The Aam Aadmi Party has distanced itself from the coalition earlier itself and taken a sharp dig at the Congress, saying that the BJP and Congress are hand in glove. In his opening remarks, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge, you just heard what he said. That's what I was breaking with our colleagues there. He's hailed allies for defeating the delimitation bill. He has also urged allies to stand united against SIR and keep fighting the party in power, the BJP.
How can we join that alliance? Let us see whether what decision is taken today, and most of the parties will quit India bloc. That is my expectation, because Congress has become a non-reliable party.
It's a very crucial meeting. India Alliance is a broad-based alliance against BJP, but unfortunately the Congress party is not dealing it properly. For example, in Kerala, they leveled a very wild and strange alliance against the left, that we are in alliance with BJP. It was baseless. And in Puducherry also, they did the same thing. In the final hours, they ditched the alliance. So the thing is that to continue with this alliance, Congress party should take more initiative and more comprehensive, and it should understand the political reality. And with this, it will be very difficult. So we are hopeful of coming out a proper outcome. That's what we are just waiting for that.
We have serious reservation with regard to the approach, attitude and conduct of the Congress party. See, now it's going to be 3 years since the inception of the India bloc. The first meeting happened in Patna in 2023. Now it's going to be the third year. We are going to complete the third year. One step ahead, 2 steps back. We all came together to fight BJP. But there is a murky situation that has happened in Kerala, wherein people like Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge, Srimati Priyanka Gandhi all descend on Kerala and accuse us of having some sort of a truck with BJP.
आज के समय इंडिया ब्लॉक के सामने सबसे बड़ी चुनौती क्या है?
जिस तरह से भारतीय जनता पार्टी इसमें राजनीति कर रही है, पहले हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग होता था, पोचिंग होता था, फिर पार्टियों को तोड़ना हुआ, अब तो महाराष्ट्र से जो शुरू हुआ, पार्टियों पर कब्जा करने वाली बात हो रही है। या तो पार्टी को ख़त्म कर दो या तो कब्जा कर लो।
ये लोकतंत्र के लिए, विपक्ष के लिए मेरे ख्याल से सबसे बड़ी चुनौती होगी। और अगर ऐसी पार्टी से लड़ना है तो सबको छोटे छोटे अपने मतभेदों को मिटाकर, जैसे हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी हमेशा कहते हैं कि बड़ा दिल दिखाना चाहिए, बड़ा दिल दिखाकर एकजुट होकर मुकाबला करना चाहिए। ये देश की जनता की उम्मीदों पर खरा उतरने वाली बात होगी।
पहले ये बताइए ना, पोस्टर लगा है किसने? नीचे कोई प्रार्थी, विनेत या हमारी ओर से कोई स्पॉन्सरिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, तो ये मैं समझता हूँ बल्कि बहुत ही हल्के किस्म की, ओछी किस्म की बातें होती हैं। जो भी डिफरेंसेस है, ऐसा मैं नहीं कहूंगा कि डिफरेंसेस नहीं है, डिफरेंसेस हैं, उसके लिए प्लेटफॉर्म है, वो ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है।
सर, कांग्रेस पार्टी लगातार सीबीएसई और नीट को लेकर के मोर्चा खोले हुए हो, चाहे
राहुल गांधी जी के लीडरशिप पर कोई सवाल नहीं है। नंबर एक, हम लोग ये जरूर कहेंगे कि 2029 के चुनाव में जाने से पहले हमको एक ऐसा चेहरा लेकर जनता में जाना होगा इंडिया ब्लॉक का, कि हमारा चेहरा है प्रधानमंत्री पद के लिए। ये उद्धव ठाकरे साहब की भूमिका हमेशा रही है और इस बार भी रहेगी।
Also, the BJP has slammed the opposition over differences in and within the opposition. Listen in.
There is no alliance as such. अभी हमने देख लिया, जहां जहां भी थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम होती है, अलायंस टूटता नजर आता है। चाहे वेस्ट बंगाल देख लीजिए, तमिलनाडु देख लीजिए। और कांग्रेस जब है, जहां पर है, वहां कोई अलायंस हो नहीं सकता, क्योंकि एक्चुअली ये सारे कांग्रेस से ही टूटे हुए हैं, उनसे पहले से ही खफा थे, इसलिए इन्होंने अपनी पार्टीज बनाई। और उसको जबरदस्ती अगर आप जोड़ोगे तो वो ज्यादा दिन तक चलती नहीं है।
कि इंडिया गठबंधन नाम की अब कोई चीज भी है नहीं। कांग्रेस से डीएमके ने दरकिनार कर लिया, जेएमएम ने भी आज कुछ कहा है, कम्युनिस्टों ने भी कुछ कहा है। तो धीरे धीरे इंडी गठबंधन जो है वो टूटता जा रहा है, समाप्ति की ओर है। सब लोग कांग्रेस से अपने आप को अलग करना चाह रहे हैं। तो मैं समझता हूँ टीएमसी भी उस समय आई जब उसका सफाया हो गया पश्चिम बंगाल में। तो अब मैं समझता हूँ कि ये मीटिंग और ना मीटिंग, इसका कोई फर्क देश पर पड़ता नहीं है, देश की राजनीति पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा।
दूर दूर तक इंडी गठबंधन का वर्तमान राजनीतिक परिप्रेक्ष्य में कोई भविष्य नहीं है, क्योंकि इनका गठबंधन स्वार्थ से जुड़ा हुआ है। केवल वो भारतवर्ष के या केंद्र में सत्ता आने के लिए पॉलिटिक्स करें, उनका काम सेवा करना नहीं, जनता का सेवा करना नहीं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जनता का सेवा करना, लेकिन उनका भावना सेवा करना नहीं है। केवल किस प्रकार से हम साम दंड भेद ये व्यवहार करके हम सत्ता में, यही उनका एकमात्र। अभी यहाँ ममता बनर्जी हार चुकी है, और अब किस प्रकार से इंडी गठबंधन में माने घुसा जाए, इसको मजबूत किया जाए। क्योंकि मैं सदन में रहता हूं, इंडी गठबंधन का चरित्र सदन के अंदर में कुछ और होता है, सदन के बाहर में कुछ और होता है। इंडी गठबंधन माने संगठित नहीं था, नहीं है और भविष्य में भी नहीं रहेगा।
Got an exclusive breaking coming in. This has to do with Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress Party, where it seems that the mutiny momentum is picking up. Trinamool Congress MPs are holding a closed-door meeting just a kilometer away from where Mamata Banerjee is meeting with other opposition leaders at the India bloc. TMC MPs are in a huddle in the national capital, and the big question is, will they also take the route that the assembly representatives of the TMC party did? Let's just bring you also the details of who is in that meeting. We're being told that Sharmila Sarkar, Prasoon Banerjee, Sukhendu Shekhar Ray, Jagdish Basunia and Arup Chakrabarti are some of those MPs who are in that meeting. We're also being told that many of these MPs have switched their phones off and they're not very far from where the Trinamool Congress leader is at the India bloc meeting. Shreyashi joins me live. Shreyashi, this is a big development coming in. Many questions to be asked here, but let me first start with how many MPs are there in that meeting and what's the inside track you have on them? The irony being they're not too far from where Mamata Banerjee is in the national capital at the moment.
Well, that's right. See, Vedika, in that picture, we can see at least 6 of them. 2 of them are not very legible. We can't really make out at the back. But we can see the 6 right up in front, which is Sharmila Sarkar, Prasun Banerjee, Shukhender Shekhar Roy, Jagdish Basunia, Kalipada Soren, and Arup Chakraborty. And interesting is some of their phones are switched off because I've been trying to reach out to them and understand what this meeting is actually about. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha is not in New Delhi. He's currently in Chandigarh and is likely to return later on in the evening. Whether these MPs go to meet Om Birla or go to meet Mamata Banerjee is something that's going to be of utmost importance, because these MPs can be seen sitting with Shukhender Shekhar Roy, who has tendered his resignation not just from the Rajya Sabha but also from the primary membership of the TMC. We are also given to understand there are few more MPs who are not visible in this picture. They have been cut off from the frame. This includes Kakuli Ghosh Dostidar and also Shatabdi Roy, who is a sitting MP from Birbhum. Now, interestingly, all these MPs are close to Mamata Banerjee. They are known to be old guards of Mamata Banerjee, known for their proximity to the party supremo. But at a time when Mamata Banerjee is seen at the India Bloc meeting in New Delhi, just about a kilometer away at an undisclosed location, these MPs are in a huddle, and what we are given to understand, they are deciding the next political route for these MPs. What is going to be, that is going to be of utmost importance for the Trinamool Congress's future, not just in the parliament but also as a national party here in the country.
And that's the exclusive image that we're bringing to our viewers as well. Shreyashi, just hold on for a moment. I'm going to come back to you, but that's the image that Shreyashi was referring to on your screen. There's Shehzad Poonawala from the BJP also on the phone line with us. Mr. Poonawala, we can see at least 8 to 10 MPs in that image that we have put out. The irony being they're not too far away from where Mamata Banerjee is at that India Bloc meeting. We've seen one MP put in his papers. He's at that meeting. What does the BJP make of this disintegration that continues within the TMC?
See, BJP has nothing to do with this. This is an internal matter of TMC, but I can just quote sacred games that सब मर जाएंगे, आखिर में केवल त्रिवेदी बचेगा. Similarly, सब चले जाएंगे, आखिर में केवल अभिषेक बैनर्जी बचेंगे. I mean, this is going to happen, Vedika. If you observe Indian politics, whichever party has gone for Parivar Mo, they have always seen that in the sunrise, SON rise के चक्कर में sunset, SUN set हो जाता है पार्टी का. So DMK का sunset हुआ, कांग्रेस का sunset हुआ, Sharad Pawar party sunset happened, and now TMC also. Mamata Banerjee was told by her MLAs that 70 MLAs want to make her the advisor. She chose Bhatija over party. Now if she chooses Bhatija over party, then party will go in its own way. So I think this is the asli TMC saying that we don't want to work with Abhishek Banerjee. But it is their internal matter. I have to run Bengal. I don't have time for their tantrums. This is what happens with all these regional Parivarwadi parties.
All right, Ms. Poonawala, thanks for joining us there. I believe Ritu Brata has also spoken. Let's just cut across.
पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी का मेंबर 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 लोग अगर एक साथ बैठना चाहते हैं, इसमें तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बैठे हैं, अगर बैठे हैं तो अच्छा है. हम लोग में बांग्ला में जो बात का जिक्र किया था कि हम लोग बंगाली में जो इच्छा कहते हैं, तो इच्छा का जो यूनिटी होता है बहुत ज़रूरी है. और कलकत्ता से दिल्ली का दौरा ही 1435 किलोमीटर है. ये इच्छा कलकत्ता से दिल्ली तक ट्रैवल कर चुका है.
Shreyashi with us. Shreyashi, you had Ritu Brata Banerjee there speaking to the media, and a lot being said, while he leaves a lot unsaid as well. But what clearly seems to be the case is, as of today and as of now, the action has moved to the national capital. All eyes will be on what comes of that meeting, that image that we have of TMC MPs in a huddle. Like you said, most of their phones are switched off. What could this mean? Them getting together along with Sukhendu Roy, who has already resigned as a TMC MP.
Well, these MPs are going to decide the political future of the party, not just in the Lok Sabha, but also in the national politics, because we have seen the kind of revolt within the Trinamool Congress in the Vidhan Sabha here in West Bengal in the last 2 weeks. And now this entire, mutiny shifting to New Delhi signals at a larger worry for the Trinamool Congress. Remember, Abhishek Banerjee, the National General Secretary, travelled to New Delhi on Saturday. Mamata Banerjee, the Trinamool Congress Supremo, travelled to New Delhi yesterday. But none of these leaders were seen meeting with any of these party leaderships in the national capital, and they instead decided to be in a huddle just about a kilometre away from the Constitution Club, where the Trinamool Congress Supremo has been seen sitting right next to Sonia Gandhi at that key India Alliance meet. I have been speaking to several of their MPs here in Kolkata in this during this entire fiasco that was opening out here in Kolkata. They seem to be focused on the 2029 Lok Sabha election, or at least that is what they are speaking out openly about. But when it comes to the kind of internal mutiny that has broken out within the Trinamool Congress, they seem to be just putting up a brave face and saying that, they are preparing for a larger battle of 2029. But can you really prepare for that when your house is not in order? That is the question that they have to answer, because these visuals are not going to be taken very lightly, especially by the political observers. Doesn't send out a very strong political message at a time when Mamata Banerjee herself is in the national capital. Her MPs are in a huddle in New Delhi, holding a meeting, a closed-door meeting, and several of these leaders who can be seen, including Prasun Banerjee or Rup Chakraborty, these are all old-time Trinamool Congress MPs known to be close to Mamata Banerjee, known to be in direct contact with the party supremo. But instead of holding a meeting with Mamata Banerjee, they are holding a meeting separately in an undisclosed location in New Delhi. The speaker is not in town. What we have been given to understand, he is in Chandigarh for some official work and is likely to return later on in the day in New Delhi. Whether these MPs now take their meeting to the speaker, that will be of utmost importance, or whether they meet Mamata Banerjee after this India bloc meeting is over, that is also going to be very crucial. But the fact that Sukhendu Shekhar Roy over there, very laid back with a cup of tea in his hand, holding a meeting with these leaders, just goes on to show that these political leaders and Trinamool Congress MPs are, of course, chalking out the next political roadmap for themselves. And this could, of course, have a direct impact on the Trinamool Congress's future.
One wonders, Mamata Banerjee is known to be a fighter, Shreyashi. What is she thinking at this moment, especially after she takes a look at that image on our screen? Shreyashi, thanks for breaking it down here on Breaking Ground for us. We'll keep coming back to you for more on that big development. Clearly, the action has moved to the national capital, be it with Didi being here or her MPs in that huddle that you see on the screen. We're submitting a short break, but before that, let's just tell you that Tamil Nadu Chief Minister C. Joseph Vijay has felicitated chess prodigy Pragananda after his historic triumph at the Norway chess tournament. Vijay presented a 50 lakh rupee special incentive check to the star, who became the first Indian ever to win the prestigious Norway chess title. Adding a personal touch to the celebration, Vijay also sat down for a friendly game of chess with the Grandmaster.
கேம் கூட விளையாண்டோம். ஸோ அது வந்து ஒரு சர்ப்ரைசிங்கான மூமெண்ட். நான் எதிர்பார்க்கல. பட் சாரே வந்து போர்டு எடுத்துகிட்டு வர சொல்லி நாங்கள் ஒரு கேம் ப்ளே பண்ணியிருந்தோம். ஸோ அது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருந்துச்சு. அண்ட் மீட் பண்ணி பேசினாங்க. ஸோ சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. ஏன்னா உடனே வந்து லைக் டோர்னமெண்ட் இப்போ தான் முடிஞ்சது, உடனே மீட் பண்ணி பேசுறது வந்து நல்ல சப்போர்ட்.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा और मसाला।
Landed in the beautiful state of Andhra Pradesh, which has no shortage of its own superstars, and that's why it's our pleasure to be joined today on NDTV by Pawan Kalyan, the Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. Good to have you, sir. You were recently denied permission, sir, on Telangana Formation Day.
I think somehow they're scared. Otherwise, there is no need for them to deny permission.
Is the India bloc up on its last legs?
I had seen in my family, they were very strong supporters of Congress. As long Indira Gandhi was, even to an extent Rajiv Gandhi ji was there, they could slowly, but the disconnect started because of their policies. I really expected some kind of a greater understanding when this man, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, if I go and meet people, that gives me a very entire greater understanding, greater depth. But I felt after walking from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, and the way he understood him, then I said he has become more shallow.
It was genuinely a first day, first show kind of perfect political storm for Vijay. What went through your mind when you saw it unfold?
I came into politics in 2007, and from then...
2 decades.
2 decades.
Yeah, amazing.
And it was a tough journey for me, and sometimes I felt like giving up, sometimes I feel like, why the hell I was in politics. I wish I could have such kind of smooth journey like Mr. Vijay. In that way I said, okay, I was envious.
You have a good relationship with the BJP and especially with Prime Minister Modi.
This man is the future of our country and we need it.
This is the show where we bring you all the hot and happenings from the world of entertainment and lifestyle.
Really?
Fashion that made you gag. Films that made you fangirl. Art that made it to the gram, and trends that kept us with the program. Hello and welcome to a brand new show. I am your host Mayank Chaudhary and this is Limelight.
मीठा या नमकीन चाहे जैसे खाओ 100% सूजी से.
Question this morning is no longer whether the Iran-Israel ceasefire framework is actually under strain. It's actually whether it's beginning to unravel in real time. Iran's Revolutionary Guard now says Israel has responded with attacks on targets inside Iranian territory using air-launched ballistic missiles. In fact, Iranian state media, we can confirm, is reporting powerful explosions in Tehran and Isfahan. My colleagues Aditya Raj Kaul, Pradeep and Vishal Vivek are tracking the latest details for you. What's particularly significant here is the timing, because reports had suggested that Washington had been urging restraint and attempting to preserve diplomatic momentum around broader US and Iran engagement. Yet, events on the ground appear to be moving faster than diplomacy. My colleagues are tracking the latest updates. Aditya, to you first. We've noticed something quite clear. Lebanon remains central to this story. What do we know about the targets Israel is believed to have struck inside Iran at the moment?
That's right, Parmeshwar. We are picking up since last night a major escalation that has taken place across the Middle East. In fact, yesterday afternoon, there was a major, operation that was launched by the IDF. A go-ahead was given after a security meeting by the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the Defense Minister Israel Katz. And a major operation was launched in a place called Dahiya in Lebanon, in which what the IDF says is that a major terror plot by Hezbollah was neutralized.
Okay.
And due to this, Iran launched a major escalation. In fact, 10 ballistic missiles last night were fired towards Israel. While there wasn't any major impact that was noticed, all these missiles were neutralized, but this was seen as a major escalation. Iran says on its part that as part of the wider ceasefire deal, Lebanon is a very much part of that ceasefire deal. There needs to be a ceasefire by the IDF and Israel in Lebanon. And if there is no ceasefire, then the war could possibly resume. And that's what we are witnessing right now. Last night, there was hectic, negotiations as well as, discussions between Netanyahu and Trump as well. They spoke for nearly 30 minutes, but it did not stop from Israel from retaliating. Early this morning at around 4:30 a.m., Israel launched retaliatory attacks, at least in 10 different locations of Iran, including Tehran as well. While details are still trickling in, this is a major escalation. It does seem like that after nearly 3 months and 10 days of the war beginning on the 28th of Feb, the war has, again reignited. Even as Trump says that they were close to a ceasefire deal, doesn't seem like that there would be a deal anytime soon with this major escalation.
Unfortunately, that seems to be the scenario as we speak. Aditya, thanks so much for joining us with that update. Do stay on with us as I also get in an update from Vishal Vivek and Pradeep Datta at the moment. Vishal, speaking of Donald Trump, speaking of America, we were hearing that Washington had urged restraint. So then what does this tell us about the limits of American influence over events in the region at this moment?
Well, there have been many theories floating around, Parmeshwar, that Israel has been calling the shots from behind the scenes
But publicly, Trump has been quite vehement in suggesting that it is Trump that has been calling the shots. In fact, he literally just said that it is him who is calling the shots. There's nothing in Netanyahu's power to do at the moment, but the results are totally different. Netanyahu is the one that seems to be defying what Trump is publicly saying. Trump and his co-workers, his officials, had clearly indicated that Israel will not be attacking Lebanon when the ceasefire was agreed upon a few days ago, last week, to be precise. So what happened in the space of 2-3 days, that remains to be seen. Israel seems to be suggesting that it was Hezbollah that attacked the northern part of Israel, and that is what Israel was responding against. It attacked the stronghold of Hezbollah, which is Dahieh, on the in the southern suburbs of Beirut, and that is how this whole stress escalation started. To which Iran also responded. Those symbolic 10 missiles were fired in the direction of Israel. All of them were intercepted, as Aditya was rightly suggesting. So whether or not these attacks will turn into from symbolic to doing damage that they have been doing in the first part of the war, that remains to be seen. Will these attacks take the shape of bigger attacks? That is the bigger question right now.
Indeed. Vishal, as always, thank you so much. Pradeep continues to be with us too. Pradeep, the IRGC claims Israel has used air-launched ballistic missiles. Has Israel...
Huge development coming in from the national capital. Sukhend Roy, the man who resigned as TMC MP this morning, is at Bhupendra Yadav's residence in New Delhi. And with him is the Bengal Chief Minister, Suvendu Adhikari. I have with me Shrishi, who brings us those details. Shrishi, this is a huge development. It's not just the MP who's just resigned from the TMC, but also other MPs he has with him inside the minister's residence. What are the details you can share with us? What could this mean?
Well, it seems to be a political earthquake in the national capital, just moments after that closed-door meeting of the Trinamool Congress MPs in New Delhi, few kilometers away from the Constitution Club, where TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee is attending the India Bloc meeting. We are given to understand that Sukhend Roy has reached Bhupendra Yadav's residence in the national capital. He was the Bengal's election in charge. Also present in that residence is West Bengal Chief Minister Shubhendu Adhikari, who has a pre-scheduled event to attend at 3:30 p.m. But before that, he is meeting Sukhend Roy, who has just stepped down from his primary membership of the Trinamool Congress and resigned from the Rajya Sabha. What we are also given to understand that those MPs who were seen in that photograph that NDTV just got exclusively for the viewers, those MPs are also going to be present. It's going to be a lunch meeting, but a very crucial one. The political fate of the Trinamool Congress being decided at Bhupendra Yadav's residence.
Huge quake there within the TMC yet again for Mamata Banerjee. That's a big breaking and that exclusive image that we're bringing to you. We have to slip into a short break, but news and updates will continue. Stay tuned.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरे राजा।
Navnidhi Sharma, the father of Twisha, joins me one-on-one for the first time.
शुरू में ही देखने को मिल गया था कि क्रिमिनल माइंडसेट है। भेड़िए ने बकरी की खाल में शिकार किया है सर। They are chameleon people.
A brother, Major Harshit, speaks out for the first time on national television.
We have been fighting non-stop. We are not stopping until the justice is served.
Missing, where is your son? Let me ask you that pointed question.
He is ready to face all the questions, but he has to exhaust his legal remedies.
Breaking news coming in. Samat Singh has finally surrendered. These are fresh visuals coming on your screen. First on NDTV. NDTV is the only network in the country that is relentlessly chasing this case.
Joining us live now for the first time is Mrigendra Singh, senior advocate appearing for Samarth Singh.
The girl has gone because of the pressure created by her own parents.
These are difficult circumstances, but the hard questions still need to be asked.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, delicious, healthy every day.
The question this morning is no longer whether the Iran-Israel ceasefire framework is actually under strain. It's actually whether it's beginning to unravel in real time. Iran's Revolutionary Guard now says Israel has responded with attacks on targets inside Iranian territory using air-launched ballistic missiles. In fact, Iranian state media, we can confirm, is reporting powerful explosions in Tehran and Isfahan. My colleagues Aditya Raj Kaul, Pradeep and Vishal Vivek are tracking the latest details for you. What's particularly significant here is the timing, because reports had suggested that Washington had been urging restraint and attempting to preserve diplomatic momentum around broader US and Iran engagement. Yet, events on the ground appear to be moving faster than diplomacy. My colleagues are tracking the latest updates. Aditya, to you first. We've noticed something quite clear. Lebanon remains central to this story. What do we know about the targets Israel is believed to have struck inside Iran at the moment?
That's right, Parmeshwar. We are picking up since last night a major escalation that has taken place across the Middle East. In fact, yesterday afternoon, there was a major, operation that was launched by the IDF. A go-ahead was given after a security meeting by the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the Defense Minister Israel Katz. And a major operation was launched in a place called Dahiya in Lebanon, in which what the IDF says is that a major terror plot by Hezbollah was neutralized.
Okay.
And due to this, Iran launched a major escalation. In fact, 10 ballistic missiles last night were fired towards Israel. While there wasn't any major impact that was noticed, all these missiles were neutralized, but this was seen as a major escalation. Iran says on its part that as part of the wider ceasefire deal, Lebanon is a very much part of that ceasefire deal. There needs to be a ceasefire by the IDF and Israel in Lebanon. And if there is no ceasefire, then the war could possibly resume. And that's what we are witnessing right now. Last night, there was hectic, negotiations as well as, discussions between Netanyahu and Trump as well. They spoke for nearly 30 minutes, but it did not stop from Israel from retaliating. Early this morning at around 4:30 a.m., Israel launched retaliatory attacks, at least in 10 different locations of Iran, including Tehran as well. While details are still trickling in, this is a major escalation. It does seem like that after nearly 3 months and 10 days of the war beginning on the 28th of Feb, the war has, again reignited. Even as Trump says that they were close to a ceasefire deal, doesn't seem like that there would be a deal anytime soon with this major escalation.
Unfortunately, that seems to be the scenario as we speak. Aditya, thanks so much for joining us with that update. Do stay on with us as I also get in an update from Vishal Vivek and Pradeep Datta at the moment. Vishal, speaking of Donald Trump, speaking of America, we were hearing that Washington had urged restraint. So then what does this tell us about the limits of American influence over events in the region at this moment?
Well, there have been many theories floating around, Parmeshwar, that Israel has been calling the shots from behind the scenes. But publicly, Trump has been quite vehement in suggesting that.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Rao. The big breaking news right now is the implosion within the Trinamool Congress. Let's bring you the latest development. There you can see this visual, this photograph coming from the national capital, which shows Member of Parliament Sukhendu Shekhar Roy, who resigned